Welcome to the PPVG Gamescast. My name is Steve.
Rich.
Mo.
And we are the passionate playing video gamers. In today's episode, we're going to discuss our most anticipated games of 2017. But before we get there, we have the big news. The best news to start my Monday. The Super NES Classic Edition is officially announced by Nintendo. It's releasing on Friday, September 29th for $79.99. Coming with two controllers this time, wired. And the controller and the wires are 24 inches larger than the NES Classic. So it's 5 feet long. Nintendo, you heard the people. The people spoke. And you added 24 inches. And Mo, show them what 24 inches looks like.
What?
Just show our audience. Just show them what 24 inches looks like. The difference between the wires.
That's not what he wanted to do.
Just flop it out on the table, man. Show them what 24 inches looks like.
I know where we're going with this.
You know exactly where he was going.
You're not going to start calling me Super Nintendo.
Call you Donkey Kong, man. Yeah, Donkey Kong Country is coming back. And with it, it comes with 21 games. 20 games plus a bonus unreleased Star Fox 2. It was completed, but never released. So, starting out, everyone heard the Super NES as an NES Classic had a huge clusterfuck of supply. And if you want to hear
Is that a thing?
That is a thing, yes.
Oh, okay.
If you want to hear my story, it's in episode 7, my adventure by the NES Classic of what the fuck I had to go through at Best Buy for 4 hours, waking up early.
What's the first game you played on there?
The first game I played on the NES Classic, I don't think I played it yet.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. Super Mario Bros. 3. That was the first one. Actually, my wife and I, we played for about 2.5 hours. Super Mario Bros. 3. And actually played over the weekend. Played some more Super Mario Bros. I was feeling it for Classic. So, Nintendo announced that they would produce a significantly more units than the NES Classic. Significant more units than NES Classic. They're currently planning to ship until the end of calendar year 2017, with nothing to announce regarding possible shipments beyond this year. So they're being transparent, letting everyone know, not like last year with the NES Classic, as in no one fucking knew that was going to be limited, but coming clean, nothing announced after 2017.
So how many are going to be made, are we assuming?
A significant amount.
No, I mean, what's the number?
So, Nintendo, the last report that they made of the NES Classic is they reportedly shipped 2.3 million NES Classics worldwide from November to April. Shipped 2.3 million. So whatever a significant amount above 2.3 million is, that's what they're doing.
Is that like 2.4, 2.5, 2.8?
So instead of waiting 4 hours in line at Best Buy, I'm going to wait 3 hours. That is what that means. That is what that means. So the reason why they're doing that is their long-term efforts are focused on delivering great games for the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo 3DS. And this is a quote from Nintendo. We are offering the SNES Classic Edition in special recognition of the fans who show tremendous interest in our classic content. So they're doing that for us, the people, that they are bringing the Super NES limited edition to the people. They're the Bane, doing it for the people to bring us the SNES Classic. So before I get into the list of games that are on it, what was your initial impressions when you heard it? About the price, the console. I know you guys are so excited for the NES Classic Edition.
I actually like the lineup.
The lineup.
Like the lineup of game. I wish they would have included some other games that I think are trivial to the actual Super Nintendo. You know, there's a couple games that I wish they would have made that mark, but you know, I guess beggars can't be choosers. I don't know.
So what about 20 games? So the NES Classic had 30 games for $60. This has 20 games plus a bonus, 21 for $80.
Oh, but they're 16-bit now, so that's
16-bit.
Yeah,
that's twice as much. That's actually kind of like 40
It's $4 per game. Wait, counting Star Fox 2, Celeste, and it's a new unreleased game. So I'll talk about the games that are going to be a part of the Super NES Classic by alphabetical order. It's going to be Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3, F-Zero, Kirby Superstar, Kirby Dream Course. Mo, you got 2 Kirby games. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, Star Fox 2, which has never been released, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighter, Super Castlevania 4, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. So that is the lineup of 21 games in the Super NES Classic. What do you guys think of that lineup? Besides the games, we'll discuss later what games or what game we think is missing that should have been added. What do you think?
You said Final Fantasy 3.
Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah, that's on there.
I guess 6 was a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah.
But isn't it confusion 3 is actually 6? I don't know. I'm not Final Fantasy. Please don't put any comments. I don't know anything about Final Fantasy. I thought 3 and 6 is on the Super Nintendo.
It got mixed up with the Japanese version, so yeah, it sits in there. But, I mean, it's good to have number 3 on there. I thought number 3 was one of the really good, really done, like, that's when they started getting into storytelling and they started getting in-depth with storytelling, I thought.
Yeah, they were playing with what they could do.
Yeah, and for that time frame, like, I thought it was a really impressive game, so I'm pretty excited about Final Fantasy, 3.
Was there a second game that you said you care about? Or?
Yeah, I forgot what was...
Earthbound? Not Earthbound.
I do want Earthbound. Yeah, that's a game a lot of people didn't get to play.
I've never played Earthbound.
You need to, yeah, it's good. And that's the one I told you. Undertale is the unofficial sequel to
yeah.
I heard. And also Secret of Mana, I've heard as well. That there's 2 games that I've never played before. But Earthbound is the one I've always heard. Another one was Chrono Trigger.
That's the one I thought they should have put it on there, because with those 3 that would have been like a pretty good cross. If you've never played Chrono Trigger, it's just amazing game, great storyline. The RPG, the fighting is completely different from anything that I've ever seen. So I thought it would have made the list, and I'm just kind of upset it didn't.
20 games is going to be games that are left out. And Rich, let you speak a little bit. What are your impressions about the system and the lineup?
It's a good lineup. A lot of RPGs, so there's a lot of hours that are there. But it makes sense to me. It's more of the same, which I'm not going to... I don't fault you guys for being excited. I don't think that it's the best choice, but it'll make them money, so...
Best choice for what?
What they could do with the library.
So they have it on the Virtual Console, but they're Super Nintendo's $8 on the Virtual Console per game.
So it kind of shows you when they throw in the physical manufacturing process and the licenses and all that kind of stuff, they can get it down to $4 on these 20 titles, including an unreleased title. But they can't do that on the Virtual Console. That's where I have problems with their business practices. But it doesn't take away from the fact that this is a good deal. It's not bad. It's just it's one of those. It's more of the same. I don't think that this nostalgia trip, you need to keep being sent down when they could do digital distribution, or you could, I don't know, make some fucking games for the Switch. But that's me just complaining. You guys have every right to be happy about it. That's a great lineup. There's nothing to be mad at. I just don't want it to be exactly what I think it's going to be, which is nothing but vague talk of significant improvements and stuff like that, and it doesn't amount to anything.
They've added 24 inches to the cord. Holy fuck, that cord is so fucking small.
How long is the cord on your PlayStation 4? Oh, it's wireless. Okay.
I was like, I had to think about that.
No,
like,
wait.
Cord.
What about the Joy-Cons on your Switch? How long is the cord on... Oh, fuck. Your Xbox?
Well, my controller doesn't work, but...
No, but if it did, how long's the cord on that?
All wireless. All wireless.
Huh.
And that Sega Genesis that a cool guy got you guys.
Did
that have wired?
No, it was actually wireless.
Wireless, the old
Weird.
Sega retro.
And you had the option to use a classic wired if you
wanted to.
preferred. I think that's the route that they could have gone with something like that, is have an option. If people want to play the classic wired way, let them do that. If
they'd like the add-on shit, why don't they just make some classic controllers and sell them for another $10, 15, 20, whatever? Hell, save Mad Cats from complete bankruptcy and utter damnation. Give them the fucking license to crap out some stupid ones for $8 each. They'll make money this holiday and everybody will be happy.
Yeah.
And they all have 10-foot cords. Everybody will be...
I have extensions for the NES Class, so hopefully those extensions will work for the Super NES.
Wait.
By my Super Nintendo.
On the same controller, or are these for the two different controllers?
No, you plug it into its USB into the NES Classic, and then the controller plugs into that extension.
No, I'm saying were you like doubling up on the extension so that it's even twice as long with the extension, or
like
just one?
Quadruples. It's like 10 feet is the extension.
How long is that in inches?
Wait, I haven't actually seen like the what's it, the NES Classic console. Was it USB connection? Like the actual, I haven't seen the console itself, so I don't know
the correct term, but it's not an actual like controller port. It's more of a
USB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can plug it in and you can plug.
Thanks, Rich, for a guy who doesn't have the damn system.
I'm cutting through.
I just know how to put it in. That's it. I plug it in. That's all I know.
Surprised you got 2 hours of use out of it. But
I don't know how it works. I just plug it in. Hit the on button.
And then you're finished.
And then I'm done. After 2 hours, I'm done for good. That's
wow.
So more than likely I'll be able to use those extensions, but 5 feet is still not fucking long enough. Especially with living rooms these days, it's more like for a college dorm room. But hey, you get extra money, $8 for extension cables. Congratulations, thanks Nintendo.
Because they didn't buy it for people that are homeowners in their 30s. They bought it they made it for little kids that would be in their bedroom, sitting at the edge of their bed, playing on their...
Who have never played these games before.
Exactly, that's what they made it for.
And when they turn it on for 5 minutes, like, Daddy, why the fuck did you get this for me? It was my Xbox One X.
They would never say that, but I get the gist of what you're trying to say.
So with this lineup, I love it. But you can't really go wrong with Super Nintendo's. But there's a lot of games of how many you can fit into 20. And I went through lists. I've only beaten about 7 or 8 of them. But like the Zelda, Mario, and Metroid were like probably one of the best games of that franchise.
F-Zero's on there. That's good.
And F-Zero.
F-Zero's on there.
Play a little bit.
Super Mario Kart.
Mega Man X, I beat the 8 bosses, but I never went to the castle at the end. Super Castlevania 4, I beat on the Virtual Console as Mario Kart. Star Fox, I rented it one time over a weekend, so I played it for like 2 days, which was like the best Friday. Like, oh, it's Friday, Mom, let's go to the video rental store, rent a game, turn it back Sunday night, but play it all weekend. And I sucked. I wasn't very good. I think I got to the second level of Star Fox. But I've been waiting for it to come on the Virtual Console. I've been wanting to give it another try. I'm a little older, a little quicker reflexes. I got more experience.
Well, you can't play the second game until you beat the first level.
First game. Yeah. So I guess I'm never playing Star Fox 2 then. So.
Just warning you.
But one game that I've always wanted to play, Earthbound, Secret of Mana, Final Fantasy. I'm not a big fan of turn-based.
Why?
Just too slow.
It's not slow.
Never got involved with turn-based.
Depends. Depends on the game.
But one game I do want to try, though, is Chrono Trigger, which is turn-based.
You like KOTOR, though. KOTOR is turn-based.
But that's in real time. I'm not as in, I select,
no,
they hit, and then I have to wait for them to come hit.
No, you do. You do have to wait for them. They don't jump the gun. If you sit there and just, like, drop the controller and it's your turn,
there's timers.
They don't take another one.
Yeah, there's timers. It was done differently because, but there are timers. You're both correct.
But do you kind of understand what I'm saying with turn-based, though?
Yeah.
Okay, like with Final Fantasy, like what I've seen with turn-based games, like the old school is you hit, and I want to attack, defend, potion, and then they go at the other opponent, they do it, and then I have to wait for the other person. I'm waiting like 10, 15 seconds. Nothing's happening on screen. It's like this battle screen. They're on this field. I have to wait for them to come and attack me, and they go back. Then I make my move and go back. I don't have any. It's just not for me. Those are classic games. I'm not going to take anything away because one of the best RPGs are turn-based. Just not my style. But one game I've always been wanting to try is Chrono Trigger, which I might now. I've been waiting. I thought it was going to be on the Classic Edition, but I guess I'll have to get it on the Virtual Console. I need to plug in my Wii U somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna plug it in, so I can play on a virtual console.
That was their whole plan, wasn't it? That was the whole fucking plan.
So what's the one game that you guys would want added to the SNES Classic Edition that's not a part of the lineup?
You know, like my biggest one was Chrono Trigger, but I also adding, like, I thought they were gonna add the rest of the Donkey Kongs. I wouldn't have just added one. I thought they should have added like all three, or you know.
I loved the trilogy. That's what they did with Mario in the NES Classic. They had all three. I loved all three of them. I can understand with Donkey Kong if you have a list of 20 of what others you take out, but I don't know why they wouldn't do 25 and plus one. Like, there's so many great games out there. And I thought it was gonna be 100. Like, but I thought it was gonna be like 30 games.
100 costs.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be $100 for the 30 games. And so I thought they were gonna have the Donkey Kong trilogy that they can add. The one trilogy that I thought they were going to add as well. Well, the one game that I wanted was Turtles in Time. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. But I know there's a rights issue because I know the Turtles 2, the arcade, there's a rights issue. So I came in with realistic expectations that one wasn't going to be on. I don't know what the fuck you have to do to get that game out again. I do have it on the Super Nintendo, but I believe someone out there in the world has it. I'll get it back sometime.
If they could have brought one of the games, actually, speaking of Turtles in Time, I got two, was, and now that we've all been talking Spider-Man, Maximum Carnage.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody ever that game? That game was fucking amazing. Adding that to that list?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Even like the Avengers games. Those were classic, good arcade games that transferred well onto Super NES. Like, Maximum Carnage was one of my best, like, two-player co-op sitting down.
Red cartridge,
yeah.
The red cartridge, yeah. Another one would have been Double Dragon 4. I love that game.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Double Dragon versus Battletoads.
No,
that one's good.
I think it's called Super Double Dragon.
Super Double Dragon, yeah.
Because Double Dragon 4 just came out.
Yeah.
It's
supposed. Yeah,
Super Double Dragon.
Confusion. What I'm sorry, but
just add a super in front of everything, and then that's the Super
pretty
Nintendo
much
for you.
Yeah, but that was a good fight. Those were like premium fighting games.
Final Fight.
Yeah,
Final Fight. I have that on the Virtual Console. I actually bought that.
Yeah.
So I was thrilled Monday morning when they announced, and my wife looked at me, are we going to get the SNES Classic Edition? Absolutely. And I'm prepared to wait in line. And we already discussed and talked all the bullshit about why do the fans have to do it. If I waited 4 hours for NES Classic Edition, I will wait 8 hours for the Super Nintendo. No, I will not. But I will wait in line again. I will go through all that bullshit just to have an SNES Classic Edition. Just so I can have... Because my wife has never played the Super Nintendo. She went from the NES to the 64, and I just found that out yesterday. That she's never played a Super Nintendo, so I'm actually very excited.
But you have a Super Nintendo. Like, literally, it's right there.
Like, it's right in front of us. Yeah, actually. We should set that bad boy right here.
My Super Nintendo that is yellow.
For proof.
The yellow Super Nintendo.
Has it been through a fire?
No, it's the plastic.
Yeah. Plastic breaks down.
It's the plastic that they use.
degrading.
So you can tell it's an original Super NES with the plastic.
Because like the third runs, they've got that imperfection of the plastic.
Look at that.
There you go.
The actual Super Nintendo.
I like how it's been through like a fire or somebody peed on it, but the like cartridge engine is all white.
You can actually tell some of the color of the yellow around it. It looks like someone just pissed over Super Nintendo.
It's a little dusty, man.
Yeah, it's
because nobody's played it.
Is that what's going to happen to the SNES Classic?
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna take this with me. If you want it back, though, it's only $40.
Yeah, I'll pay for it right now. I'll wait in line. It's original Super Nintendo.
Oh, sorry. Most of it give me 50. So check out my listing on eBay.
It'll be skyrocket, but they said significant amount, but I don't trust Nintendo. There's going to be a shortage. They're going to get their fucking stupid publicity. There's going to be long lines.
This episode? I don't trust Nintendo.
Yeah. As in, we learned a lesson. I do like the release date, though. September 29th. because it gives them some time to recoup on the holidays. Rather than November 11th,
Yeah.
you have 6 weeks now until Christmas.
Yeah.
But now they said we have no plans after 2017, but I do believe they will ship in 2018. Because they're going to say it's for the fans. There's been a high demand. We'll do it for you because we love our fans. Thank you, Nintendo, for loving us. I really appreciate it.
Hopefully,
Comes from the heart.
hopefully they do come out.
Making me
with a lot
wait in
more.
line. Almost get fired.
So, next year, 2018 holiday season or pre-holiday season, they'll do the N64 Classic, and it'll be $90, and there'll be 15 games on there. Should we discuss which 15 games they should include?
That will be next week, actually.
We're off for the holidays. So.
Yeah. Jumping the gun. Oh, that, yeah. Now, next episode. You're right.
Do we get a better
4th of
controller
July.
than that fucking thing? I don't want to
You're
use that
holding it
controller.
wrong.
I don't care. I held it from the middle.
Like King
here.
Kong.
Yeah, you're
hands.
holding it wrong. What's wrong with
It's only-
you?
I
That was what the
switched
majority
from
used it. I did it wrong. I was my hands on the side.
No, but I had mine in the middle, and then here, and then I would go for side. I would switch.
I switched.
Leave me
too,
the
dude.
fuck alone.
Dude, I
hated
switch.
that
I
fucking
switch hands as
controller.
well with the joystick. You know,
Hated
sometimes
that
you get a little
controller.
tired.
Hated
He'll
that
sit on a
controller.
hand, and then he plays it, and he's like, it's a different second player.
I hated that controller. I don't care. I'll say it. Shit.
Yeah, it's garbage.
That-
So if the system is available that you don't have to wait in line, would you purchase the Super NES Classic Edition?
yes.
Yeah, probably.
Too bad it's not going to be fucking available in stores. though.
Exactly.
Too potential and did not. But we'll see. Nintendo, the ball's in your court September 29th. We'll see if they do pre-orders. I know they started to do pre-orders in
Did
the UK,
they?
supposedly. Supposedly. I don't know if I can confirm. Doing
They
some,
haven't guaranteed how many are going to be made, so they don't know how many are going to be shipped. How do you take pre-orders when you don't know how many you're going to get?
yeah, I don't think they will do pre-orders
Oh.
here
Makes
in the
sense.
States. They might do
No,
somewhere
they
else.
will, and then they'll call you and tell you, sorry, we're not doing pre-orders. Do you want to switch your credit over to another game?
Well, that's happened to other game consoles as well.
yeah,
not just
it's
for the
almost
Super
like
NES.
that's something we should talk about is GameStop's bad
No, it happened to Amazon
pre-order pricing.
as well. With Amazon with the Switch.
It did happen with the Amazon
Yeah.
Switch. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I was. We
That
we,
some
we
got
heard
delayed
that,
a few weeks.
Yeah, we actually. When we heard that news, we were looking at up stuff and we were wondering if ours got delayed, but ours was fine. Well, we did it the day it was announced, so.
And they don't charge you up front, though.
No.
So
No, not at all.
Well, I am very excited for the SNES Classic Edition. I'm already got my place in line to wait until September 29th.
what are you doing here, then?
After this, after we're done recording, I'm going to go get in line.
You said you already have your place in line.
I do. I have it
I'm trying to
reserved.
follow the continuity.
I'm
of this.
paying someone to stand in line for me.
And that's me.
Money well spent. Yeah. What the fuck are you doing here?
I paid him to come do the show. You lost your spot.
I'm getting money all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, I paid you. You paid...
I'm on pre-order, bitch.
Really?
No, stop it.
Oh. I'm still waiting for you to show them what 24 inches looks like.
That's a private episode
Ooh.
for me and the viewers.
That's not a no. That's not a no.
That's why I don't subscribe to this channel. What the fuck's wrong with you?
It's the only viewer called Heather.
There you go. Okay, so go to our Patreon, and if we have you at the top tier, Mo will do a private session with you.
We'll do it live.
He's gonna be on Cam Soda.
fucking
He'll
live.
give you the address.
The only thing we're doing is playing video games together, so that's it.
We're doing it
and
fucking
he's
live.
gonna put the emphasis on his joystick. We all know where this is going.
And how to hold it, because you don't know how to hold it all around, just one.
Gonna need a lot of liquor and a lot of drugs for this.
What do you think's in that drink? A little bit of both.
The Bill Cosby of the podcast.
That was,
What?
I don't know what you're talking about. He didn't get convicted. Isn't that the kind of logic we should use? Brand loyalty until you tell me differently.
That is our take on the Super NES Classic Edition. Please let us know in the comments below what you think of the game lineup and if you trust Nintendo that they will have enough supply for this holiday season. We've now just got through the first half of 2017. We just had E3, so it's our time to announce our top 3 most anticipated games of 2017. And I will go first. I'll do my number 3 most anticipated game. It depends if it actually will come out. They said it will come out in December. I'm a huge VR person. I love my VR. My number 3 most anticipated game is Doom VFR for the PlayStation PSVR. I thought looked incredible. I like what they did with the locomotion, where I don't have to fucking walk because it's very quick. That I can teleport to the enemy, because that would be extremely fast. But if it doesn't make it, my number 3 would then be Star Wars Battlefront 2. I know E3, we all got multiplayer, not much single player. It looks fantastic. I guess I have faith in them that the single player will be good.
Based on what they did with the last game, it makes sense still. Yeah. How could you think they'd screw it up?
But that would be my number 3. Battlefront 2. I'm excited for the changes that they made and adding that single player and just that story, that 30-year gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. See what happens in between that time period. So I'm excited for that story. If not, I cannot wait for Doom for the VR. And Mo, what's your number 3 most anticipated game in 2017?
It's going to be Shadow of War. It's going to be my number 3. I'm anticipating. I want to see where that story goes. I want to see what they've revamped. Besides, I know that they've been releasing videos, but like me, I kind of want to keep all that stuff a secret. I'd rather discover that stuff for myself. So I haven't been watching too much of the gameplay and videos and all that. I thought the first one was enough, so I'm waiting for that game. I'm just excited for that game.
Shadow of War number 3. And Rich?
You stole my answer.
Yeah.
Shadow of War.
Shadow of War.
Yep.
Number 3.
So you enjoyed Shadow of Mordor a little bit.
Yeah.
How far did you get?
Like 2/3.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get the whole pack because I would play the DLC. And apparently, like the Game of the Year edition, your save won't transfer over, so that's why I didn't finish this.
That's horseshit.
It says it right there in like their online updates that are on the home screen.
And my second most anticipated game of 2017 is Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo Switch. And to be honest, I wanted Super Mario, but I wasn't that excited. Oh, it's a Mario game, something to play on the Switch until E3. Till they showed that Cappy, what you can do with the cap. You can throw it, and whatever object or enemy is coming at you, actually take control of that enemy. So I'm really excited. The game mechanics of what that will bring. Coming out October 27th. So I have about 1 week or 10 days to beat it before the Xbox One X is released. And I'll get to my number 1 game, what I plan to be playing on the Xbox One X when it is released. But Super Mario Odyssey, I'm very excited now after E3. That's my number 2 most anticipated game. And Mo?
My number 2 is actually going to be The Evil Within 2. I'm just... the release dates. It's going to end up happening where I have to get Shadow of War and Evil Within 2 in the same time.
Within 3 days.
Yeah, so I'm just picking up both. I wanted to get Shadow of War, the collector's edition, but I think it's $300 fucking dollars. So...
What is there, a statue or something?
Yeah. It's a giant-ass statue with a wraith fighting a... I don't know if it was a dragon or a wraith. I couldn't tell. But one of them is a wraith, and it's ginormous, huge. But I wanted to get it, but I'm not going to pay $300. Or was it $300 or $600? I don't remember. Either way,
just making up prices again.
Yeah,
though.
sorry,
That's
apologies.
That's my gimmick.
I saw the price and I was like, whoa, not for me. I'm sticking for the gold edition. Just moving on.
Maybe if it was a Jaguar.
Yeah. But anyways, I'll be forced to get both games at the same time. I'm excited to see where the story runs with and the Evil Within 2, see what happens, you know. I'll probably do a first playthrough so you guys can see my fucking scared ass shit. Me jumping out of my chair and pooping my own pants. We'll see.
I already have video of that. I can show them.
No,
pooping
don't.
your own
Wait,
pants.
is that why it's called a live stream?
Oh. Mo's live stream if you want to check it out.
I'm like a slug.
It just slowly comes down your leg like a slug. Just...
My online ID is faucet butt. I'm joking. It's not faucet butt. It's let's go. Just go. Rich, what's your?
He's ready for the evil one.
Mine's not faucet butt either. I don't know how to. Now I don't want to say my number 2 choice because that's inappropriate.
South Park.
Actually is, yeah.
All right.
See?
What's it named?
Fractured Butthole.
There we go.
And the DLC is the Attack of Faucet Butt.
That's all right. If you pre-order, you get Towley. So that'll
help with Faucet Butt.
Yes.
Why is that your number 2, South Park?
I would put it probably as my first place, but I'm a little worried because of the delay. I'm worried if there's going to be some problems. So otherwise, that would have been a strong number 1.
My number 1 game is Shadow of War. I love Shadow of Mordor, one of my favorite games in the last 5 years. I cannot wait for Shadow of War. It comes out October 10th. I am waiting until November 7th until I play it on the Xbox One X, just to see what this native 4K gaming is all about. On a console, I'm a console player. So even though it comes out October 10th, that's going to be very hard for me not to play that for a month, but I want to make sure that's worth it. We'll see. Waiting for 4K gaming. That is worth the $500 price tag for the Xbox One X. Only time will tell. But I'm extremely excited for Shadow of War over any other game. I cannot wait. And Mo, what's your most anticipated game of 2017?
My most anticipated is, some people know of it, some people don't, but it's actually Ni no Kuni 2, The Revenant Kingdom. That comes out November 10th. It's an RPG. The art style is just incredible. It's an anime-based art style. It's an RPG. I don't know if it's action RPG. I haven't seen any of the actual. No, I actually did see gameplay on it. It's actually like an action RPG, kind of run around. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Kingdom Hearts, but the art style is like watching Spirited Away from Disney. It has the same feel, and it looks amazing. So that's actually on my number 1 list for now. It's I think it's only PlayStation 4 only. I think it's going to be one of those exclusives. But it's I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but if you watch any gameplay, you're gonna be like, wow, this is pretty impressive. It's pretty different.
Should most anticipate? I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, it's not cel shaded. It's just anime, kind of like the Naruto games, kind of. It's same kind of style, but just straight on, just RPG action.
And Rich, what is your most anticipated game?
I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I got 2. I know.
Motherfucker.
Because one of them's probably digital distribution only, and then the other one's actual store-bought. Cuphead. So okay. I'm really into that art style. I like the old Fleischer style of art that they're doing. It's all hand-drawn, and I've been waiting for it for 2 fucking years now. Wow. But number 1 comes out in August. Agents of Mayhem. That's my big.
Yeah. Agents, and that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
You will not have to wait long.
No.
For Agents of Mayhem.
I'm going to hold off just a little bit to get that game.
Just to see, because you have to be a fan of that game style.
Yeah,
I like the aesthetics, everything.
So, yeah.
I think it's funny when, the pre-order is the legal action pending costume set, and it's all, like Hollywood's dressed up as Tony Stark in the Iron Man armor and stuff like that. So I like those tongue-in-cheek kind of comments on everything.
Nice. And for me, I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn right now, and the more I play it, the more I'm actually might be getting more excited for the DLC for Horizon. And I'll get into later when we go balls deep at the end of our episode, where we talk about what games we'll be playing all week long, and what I think of Horizon, and I might think it's better than Legend of Zelda. I will get into why that is, why I'm thinking that right now. But those are our top 3 and most anticipated games of 2017. Please let us know in the comments below what your most anticipated games for 2017. So with the announcement of the Super NES Classic Edition coming out September 29th, we have 2 consoles coming out this holiday. We have the Super NES coming out September 29th and the Xbox One X coming out on November 7th. So this leads us to our first and possibly final edition of the PPVG Showdown. Between in one corner...
Wait, when was the first one?
I said the first and possibly last. This is the first showdown.
Okay.
In the one corner of the Xbox One X, releasing November 7th for $500. Native 4K, supposedly the most powerful console ever made. That's a fact. That is a fact. In the other corner, we have the SNES Classic Edition, releases Friday, September 29th for $80. Who needs 4K when you're 16-bit? It was originally released, the Super Nintendo was originally released in America in August 1991 for $200. Packed in with Super Mario Worlds. So this is Mike Tyson versus Little Mac. The big, powerful console versus the little guy that could.
Why'd you use the Nintendo reference? You're already skewing this.
Already skewing.
You're
already
biased.
skewing. Already biased of who's going to win. So, the showdown is which console is going to sell the most in its lifetime. In its lifetime, which console is going to sell the most units. Not revenue, but the most units. And Nintendo said they're only planning for 2017, but I predict it'll go a little farther. So it gives Super Nintendo NES Classic about 6 months. Xbox One X. How long do you think the Xbox One X will last until there's a new Xbox console? When do you think
That's
the new Xbox?
That's not the question. It was.
But to think of how long is the lifespan for Xbox One X to sell? Because we're doing lifetime sales. Who's going to sell more units in lifetime sales between the Xbox One X or the Super NES Classic Edition? So we have to have a time frame. How long do you think the Xbox One X?
It's going to be significant. That's all I know.
It'll be a significant amount that it will outsell.
20%.
20. There we go. We're going the Sony route.
No, I don't know 20% of what, but it's 20%. That's what it.
So how many did the NES sell?
The NES,
A significant.
2.3 million. The NES Classic worldwide.
And this is going to be a significant increase.
Yeah, so they're gonna
So
do
let's
a
say at least
significant
2.5
increase.
million.
So 2.3 mil?
2.3 mil.
That's consoles.
NES Classic Editions worldwide. And we're
Consoles.
talking about worldwide sales.
Not just money. I'm talking about consoles. How many consoles? That's
2.3 million consoles.
Okay.
Yeah. That they sold. So they're doing a significant amount. So what, like 5 million? Would that a significant double?
Well, I'm going to tell you this one right now. Xbox is not going to sell very well overseas, like in Japan and so forth. That's always been their...
Xbox One X isn't going to sell well anywhere. No offense. It's just
Over the next 2 years? You don't think it will sell well?
It's too early here. It's the PS4 Pro. It's not the right thing for the market. I get what it fits into, but it's a niche market. It's the Criterion Edition. It's Blu-ray when DVDs were still the rage. Like, it's great, and it is a remarkable difference compared to what the base standard is. But when most people are not ready to adopt that or even looking to see what the next thing is, they're not going to invest in the future. Like, remember when they did HD DVD and how that kind of crashed and burned?
They didn't 100% support it, though.
And they didn't really with Blu-ray. Just the studios went that way because it became the only avenue to resell their movies, and that was the whole point. It's kind of like the Nintendo thing of, you already bought it 3 other times, what's one more?
No, but like PS3, like it was ahead of its time with the Blu-ray. It was too expensive. It was ahead of its time, which you can say the Xbox One X is ahead of its time. Are we ready for 4K gaming? Is there enough 4K TVs out there for someone to want to purchase it? There wasn't enough for the PS3 when it came out, but it picked up steam towards the end.
And again, most of the 4K TV sales you're anticipating are not going to be based the same way that HD was when we had the turnover from standard def TV signals to HD. That was one of the big determining things. We don't have that where now there's a 4K standard that's government mandated to all the TV stations. That's not going to be a thing, so you don't have to worry about that. And most of the people who are going to pick it up now are not the educated, frugal buyers that are looking for that. It's basically who's selling one for $300 on Black Friday. What can I get? Can I get a 40-inch for this? Can I get a 55-inch for this price? That's what they're going for. Those are not the kind of people who go, you know what I need? I need an Xbox, but I need the one that fits for this TV, as opposed to what's the one that fits in so the kids will just stop bitching about buy me an Xbox for Christmas? That's what's going to happen. They're not going to be the educated consumers that you want them to be, that you yourself are. They're not. They're going to be the people that are looking for a steal, and right now is not the time for the One X to have that market.
So it's not 2017, but we have 2018, possibly 2019, that they will be pushing.
And again, you're thinking the only way I see that happening is if they phase out the S model. If the only one that's available is the One X, because it still plays on an HD TV, you don't have to have 4K.
Half the price.
But if you have 4K, it looks that much better. If they make it the only SKU, then yes. Then yes, it could possibly beat it, but otherwise I'm going to say no. Because if it remains a niche market, it's going to stay that way.
How long do you think 4K will remain a niche for?
It'll be at least another couple of years. I don't see mass adoption. Again, the reason why you saw the big jump to HD was because the standard was government mandated to all those stations to switch from standard def to high def. That is not happening with 4K. It doesn't look like it's likely to happen. It doesn't mean that it's not wonderful, and it doesn't mean it's not something that everybody should be interested in and be chasing and that kind of thing. But right now, there's no reason why you have to. And there's no big jump in the technology where you went from your CRT type of TV to a flat screen. That was one of the big things too. Is you went from went from this TV is 500 pounds and it takes three of us to lift to the thing hangs on one fucking nail anywhere I want in my house. Yeah. You're missing some of the follow through because you are looking at trends that don't necessarily match up. And to you, 4K means a lot more than other people. And again, this is my bias, but I'm an educated consumer. I don't give a fuck about 4K.
But you don't like 4K though, because you said
exactly. So again, I'm the kind of person, disposable income, know where the technology is headed, am interested in improvements, and still am not in any kind of rush to buy that shit.
Because even in HD, like those shows look fantastic because it's upscaled to 4K, and the TVs on regular HD channels look fantastic. They look incredible on the 4K TV upscaled. I know some might think it's too real. It loses that cinematic experience, which I do understand. So you don't need the 4K channels to take advantage of the 4K TV. And I think it even really started for last Black Friday, when the 4K TVs actually started to come down to a reasonable price. Yeah. And it's going to come out this year and next year. They'll keep coming down. It's not going to be adopted fast, but I think more 4K TV is going to be out there after this holiday, after next holiday, 2018, where Xbox One X might get a price drop. It might be $400. It might be $300 by the time the new Xbox. But remember,
even if it's just regular Xbox versus the PS4, you're already playing catch-up game, Sony versus Microsoft. Then you go into their niche products. You're playing even catch-up with the system that's already playing catch-up. Because you're only going to get maybe a quarter of those sales, right? And those sales are all already kind of paling in comparison to Sony and to Nintendo. And listen, as much as I bash on their business plan and all that kind of stuff and what I think it means for the industry, it was a sellout item last year. It was in all the news articles. It was one of those hot gifts for the holidays.
Oh, the NES Classic?
Yeah.
And it will be. The SNES will be the same.
Yep. Yeah. So
with long ass fucking lines because Nintendo loves that fucking.
So I'm gonna say this. Let's say that the One X lasts for 3 years. I'm gonna give it an extra year based on what you're saying.
Because it would sell a year after the new Xbox comes out.
But let's say 3 years. Yeah. I still think it's going to underperform the SNES Classic in both actual units sold and revenue.
Dang.
Yeah.
So it's selling for $500. The SNES is $80.
Well, again, we're going to have some price fluctuation, but let's say even at $500, I think that they're going to make more money off the SNES Classic.
And
Mo, what's your take?
No, I think they're going to sell more SNES Classics than the Xbox One X. I can't tell you how long it's going to be for them to create another gaming console as far as it's coming out. I know that it's the most powerful console out that's going to be out this year for however long. We already know PlayStation's working on PlayStation 5, and in a few years that's going to release, and then that's going to be the most powerful console out, and then it's going to be a back and forth battle once again. But the thing is, they're not doing away with Like, even PlayStation said, like, our niche console, the Pro is for those specific people.
And they said that for the X as well.
And you know, that's for those particular people. But not they're not going to sell, like, it's not a new console. I'm sorry to say. It's not like a brand new, fresh, something that whatever you buy for it, it's only going to be on that console. You know, it's not something that you need. It's something that you may want if you do have a 4K. I have a 4K, but I'm not buying into that.
Well, I think Microsoft, their next console it's going to be backwards compatible.
Yeah.
You will be able to play Xbox One, because that's something that they're really stressing.
Yeah.
That you get to play all generations of Xbox.
I would
hopefully, but Sony had that plan too, and they abandoned it. So.
No. And there's no doubt that they should do that as well. But once again, like, if I'm looking for newer stuff, I'm not looking for the past stuff. I already have the past stuff. That's why I'm keeping my consoles and I keep my games. I don't go and trade them in. A lot of people trade in those games, and they bitch about that they can't go back and play them. And I'm like, well, how the fuck did you trade in your console to begin with? That's just my logic.
They were going to keep up with
that was yeah, right. They were going to keep up with the new stuff, but they still want the old stuff. Look, I kept my old stuff for a reason. You know,
I keep all of them.
I have my PlayStation 2 and I have all my PlayStation 2 Classic. I don't need a PlayStation 4 to come in and bring in all these PlayStation 2 Classic. If I want to, I can go play them. My PlayStation 2 works fantastic.
Your laser still works?
Yeah, everything. Everything's still.
How many PS2s did you have? Was that your original? Or did you...
I had two, but one didn't break. One broke. It broke out of the person that I was dating at the time. She fucking broke it.
Ooh.
Yeah, she fucking stepped on that shit. So that's another story.
She stepped on your PlayStation?
Oh yeah, she broke the shit out of it.
On purpose.
So.
Like, fuck you for being a gamer. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Pretty much. It's pretty much how that went.
You care about these more than me? Yeah.
Pretty much that's how that went. But
it's just like you go and you take all their makeup and you pour it down the fucking toilet. Yeah, they always love that too.
And that's one reason why you know, we broke up a while. Oh, and she went and bought a new one, by the way. I forced her to.
Someone is traumatized from this experience.
Yeah, no, but...
Yeah, Sony. Jesus.
I still have the what's it called? The Slim. I have the PlayStation 2 Slim.
The Slim? That thing was small.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's weightless. Doesn't weigh anything.
Don't judge it based on the size.
Exactly. It's not based on the size.
Yeah.
But
so, still have it. Still have all my games.
So the Super NES Classic, 2.3 the NES Classic sold. How much do we think the lifetime for the Super NES Classic? It'll probably be out for 6 months.
I say they're not making more than 3 million units in the first place.
So a significant amount.
Yeah.
700,000 more.
I still stop selling by like March, maybe.
If not sooner.
But yeah.
When they'll make
the end of February.
They've already let us know. Oh. And it won't be possibly the same hype, and they're going to make more. So you might not have that same rush. If I can't find them anywhere, which caused them to do that extra shipment. But still, I'm going to say the most that they will make, best case scenario, is 3 million. That's still going to beat the Xbox One X.
So even in 3 years, the Xbox One X worldwide will not sell.
I see more hype in the news for this classic SNES than I did for Xbox.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And people have been hyping up the Xbox One X for so long, but that was hearsay. That was stuff that they wasn't just releasing. They were just like saying, oh, okay, they released it in spurts, which was the what's it called, 6 teraflops and this, and the graphics and the core and all that shit. And then I didn't feel like the excitement as I do for this SNES.
Right now there's no games that it's necessary. And like I said, you're the secondary console. You're already trying to prove your value for your primary. And this is the extra, the ancillary, the niche market.
And look, I don't want to hear a fucking word about exclusives because most of them are fucking indie games.
World
most
exclusive.
Of them. Most of them.
World exclusive.
Don't give a shit. That doesn't mean that it's exclusive to Xbox. You motherfuckers.
No.
Just saying that.
Okay. to give you a different metaphor, movies. Okay? You take Moonlight, it was Oscar Award winner for Best Picture this last year, or Transformers The Last Night, which had the worst opening in the history of that franchise. It's still going to make more money, and it had a much higher budget, so there's more advertising costs, more of the actual production costs. It will still make more money than Moonlight ever did, which was considered the best picture of 2016, just because it caters to a different market. It's not just a niche, and it kind of caters to all possible customers. Moonlight is not that movie. Moonlight is not going to sell well in China. Moonlight's not going to sell well in Russia, in the UK. Even in the US, it's going to have some struggles. Transformers is going to be mediocre, but it's still going to get ticket sales to justify its continued existence. And it doesn't mean it's a better movie, or that, you know, they're bad, or that the people who lose to them are bad. It just, they're going for different markets, and that's what the Xbox One X is. It's a different market than the SNES Classic. The SNES Classic is someone going through Best Buy or whatever, and they go, "Oh, I remember that. I've got $80."
Hopefully.
That's what happened with the NES Classic. Would you not agree?
No. As in, you're not going to be able to walk through a store and see the SNES. You're going to have to wait in line.
But you get my point, though, is that that's what they're trying to get, is that nostalgia pop. How many, Mo just said, how many articles are you seeing about the SNES Classic already?
They blew up.
And the Xbox One X is kind of a thud.
But it was the same for the NES. Like, this is a marathon and not a sprint. And that's, I'm actually choosing Xbox One X. That I think they will outsell the Super NES because of supply. If Nintendo does it right, there's no chance. As in, do it right, as in they have a large supply.
Like if they had 5 million, 10 million? What's your number that you're looking for?
So it's 2.3. I'm thinking a significant amount is 4 million. Is what I think they will.
I could see like close to 5, just to kind of round up.
I'm saying close to 4.
An 80% increase in their production from the previous.
And they did state that they're starting now. Like as soon as they release that.
No, they're doing. I'm saying like 3.75.
But that's where I'm saying like significant in the business world is not 80%. Significant in the business world is 3 to 5%.
Because I think if it was to be close to 5 million, they say we're going to double. They'll let everyone know we're going to double our supply, which they didn't say double, a significant amount. I'm saying 4 million, like maximum 4 million.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like pushing like 3.75.
So then what are you thinking, let's say 3 years again for the Xbox One X? What are you saying? 4.5? You talking 6? You talking 9?
Because the price is going to come down, like holiday of 2018. I think they'll drop it to 400.
You're going to have more people adopting 4K.
More adopting 4K. 2019.
They need all the perks.
Because probably 2020 is when the new PS5, because PS5, Sony, they can just ride this generation. And they can make it to 90 million. And PS3 sold 80.
And this is not a slam on any console. It's just that this is what we see. You know, this is not... It's not like saying
it
it's going to fucking suck or anything like that. It's just, we're just
But there's been some poor management decisions in this generation from Microsoft.
And it started with the launch of the console originally, where
they had
DRM problems and all that kind of stuff.
When they first announced the console, Microsoft has been...
And they were riding a big wave, and they threw that lead away. That's the problem.
So to give you an answer, so I'm predicting like 4 million maximum for the Super NES edition. I do think Xbox, again, it's very niche, and the majority of the sales, I don't know how many sales Xbox One, last time I read, was like 25, 26. They might be at that 30 million or over 30.
And how many for PS2 or PS4?
The last they know, like 60.4 million.
Okay.
I think that was last month.
Because it's more than double.
64 point.
Yeah, 60.4.
It was almost
on 2 to 1.
Yeah. It was almost 2/3 more.
Yeah, but then Microsoft, when they came out with the S and lower, they were winning a few months. But again, if you win by 100,000 here, you're not going to catch up by 30 million down. Yeah. But I do think Xbox One X will be more the standard when 4Ks do come out, and the price will lower. I think that will be the go-to console for the definitive games, whatever that is, starting next year in 2018, not 2017.
So, but you're assuming that everybody's going to program for that, as opposed to what I discussed.
The majority is going to be Xbox One S.
No, but I just mean in general. Like when you're making stuff, they're not announcing exclusive partnerships. So you're building stuff that's going to run on both platforms. So you're running it. You're trying to get the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, and you're trying to get the Xbox One S and X. You're not making a special edition that's only the X. You're relying on that, but you're still trying to fit it in the constraints and the budget of I'm making it for the S or I'm making it for the standard PS4. That's where I'm arguing that your theory on adoption, you're assuming that the games are going to look that much better. They will look better, but I don't think it's going to be the market
PS4
version that you think it is.
Because when people buy a 4K, they'll get the PS4 Pro than the Xbox One X.
Well, we'll do... It's funny because we'll do a contrast and compare. Because you have an Xbox now. Once you get the Xbox One X, we'll put in the video game on both Xbox, just the regular Xbox One, and then the Xbox X, and see how much of a big difference it is.
I'll bring the S as well and see what the big difference between the One S and the X.
I'm just saying.
IGN will do it for me.
Well, they always do, right? They're gonna be like, "This is the difference."
No, they do PS4
and then
Xbox
they're
One
gonna do
X
the
as well.
PS4 Pro and all that and see the difference. And if you see no fucking difference,
then why would you spend the extra money?
that's gonna be a fucking bomb. I'm just saying. Like, I'm not trying to slander or anything.
I've read some previews about, like, you know, on IGN and other people who went to E3 and saw 4K gaming, and just said how incredible it looks. And I love 4K, so I'm a big believer. But how big of a difference will it make? That's... Yeah. I've never seen a game in 4K. Yeah.
In native, yeah.
In native, yeah. And I'm not talking about on my 4K TV when I watched
they haven't
4K
made one.
video.
They haven't made one.
Because they have some video, like Shadow of War, I think, that was in 4K.
Technically, right now, we don't have a native 4K system, so they wouldn't have coded anything. Unless it was PC, which we're not considering in this conversation, and you're not that PC gamer anyways, so...
Yeah.
But Xbox One X, probably $5 million at the end of its life. Again, that's the reason why I think they're going to have a slow start. This is going to be slow in 2017, even 2018. I don't think the momentum would build until holiday 2018 is when I think the build for the Xbox One X. But when all is said and done, probably around $5 million. It'll be close. But I wouldn't be surprised if it falls on its face.
40% of your customer base is going to be in the first 6 months. And then it's going to fall out from there. Yeah, it'll take 3 years to get that whole 100% of that customer base, but it's not going to be the number you think it is. I'm going to say it's 40% is the first 6 months.
Possible.
So when we get to the end of fiscal 2017, let's look at the number there, and then I think that's a better view.
No, but I can absolutely see Xbox One X just falling on its face and being a disaster for Microsoft. I can see that.
When they didn't announce any games, that's what I know.
But they have 2018. They do have some time to show what games can actually come out.
But remember, you've got to entice those people that they've got something that is worth spending their money on, not putting it out for the number one console.
Yeah.
So
this is what I'm saying is I'm just waiting for E3 next year and see what happens then.
E3 just ended. We're waiting for next year.
Because this year was Xbox. You did nothing for me. You were trying to buy me, and you did not buy me. I'm sorry.
Well, you're done. You're going PC.
I am going PC.
And they insulted me, so I was clearly in the pocket for them, and now I've gone the other way.
So see, we got two saying the Super NES will win the showdown. I'm going with the Xbox One X. We'll see if I have too much faith in 4K. It is very possible that I do.
It can go either way.
And we'll come back in 3 years and we will touch back on this.
Sure.
Have a little.
And if you know you're right, then I'll buy you a Subway sandwich.
Aw, thanks.
It's gonna be a 6-incher, not the full.
What about 24 inches?
No, that's for me only.
I can't have the 24-inch sub.
Does that even Capriotti's?
Yeah, they have it. They have it. So that is.
I can't hide enough right now.
So that
this goes out to the public, right?
Yeah, it goes out to the public. They know that I love you both. And I always will.
Platonically.
Platonic. I'm a married man.
Not to either one of us.
I'm a married man.
Just so that's clear.
I did try and get married to my best man during my wedding. So,
I saw that.
Yeah, that was.
Doug was all for it too.
Yeah, he was ready.
Yeah. He's a good man, but dude, you get it.
So that was our first PPVG showdown between Xbox One X and the Super NES Classic Edition. Please let us know in the comments below who you think will have the most lifetime sales between the two consoles. And that is the end of our Gamescast. But before we do, this is where we go balls deep. We let you know what games we're playing all week long, starting with Yumo. Over the holiday weekend leading into 4th of July, what will you be playing?
Two games in particular. Sorry, I had to think about it. I was like, oh, geez.
So many fucking games you can't even think about.
Right, but we finished Dark Souls 3 finally with all the DLC expansions and all that, so we got
How many hours?
200.
Jesus.
Yeah, 200 hours. The wifey at home put in more hours than I did. She is almost at 300 hours.
Pussy.
Yeah, I'm the she's the ganker. She likes to kill people. She has a separate character, okay, that she uses just to go and fucking fuck with people. Literally, that's her. Me, I just wanted to play the story, get all the items, get all the endings and stuff. And I ended up with the good ending, by the way.
Yeah, keep it bragging about that.
Yeah.
She just got the okay.
She got the okay one.
You got the good ending.
She's going towards like the real evil ending as well on the other character, but whatever. Besides the point, we finished that. So it's done with DLCs, Ring City, and then, everything else. Titanfall 2, been playing that a lot. They just released a free DLC today with 2 new maps.
Another?
Yeah.
DLC?
And this new map looks like Tron. It's pretty crazy looking. It's pretty intense. So I was playing today once it released at I was up at 10 a.m. actually playing. Heather went to work and I was like, I need to try out this new map. or the 2 new maps. And I'm pretty impressed that they keep releasing, they keep updating. They have a thing on Titanfall now that they have a date for every new release content. So you know that there's something coming, whether it's 2 maps, executions, new mechs, whatever. So intense, love it that they're increasing their map size and everything. So I'm in the rotation of that, playing that online. And I am actually trying to finish The Witcher 3 because I need to finish that game.
How many hours are you into that right now?
I want to say a good 20 or 25. Switching between all these games, I don't want to finish Dark Souls, put it down, Heather wants to keep going, and I'm like, New Game Plus, I understand, but...
I'm still amazed at how you juggle all these games. Yeah. And we have Splatoon 2, July 21st. You and I, we're going online together.
June 21st?
July 21st. July 21st.
July 21st, okay.
Splatoon 2. We're going to ink each other. Become Squid.
I heard it's an amazing game. I'm excited to see it, so...
Yes, it is.
I'm not going to downplay it. I know that I've seen the reviews and I've seen the gameplay. I like competition.
The first one sounded good.
Yeah. So.
And Rich, what will you be playing this week?
Maintaining stuff for my guild and Injustice because I maxed out all my characters right now. Trying to get more regen tokens so that I can upgrade all their armor to level 20. I'm going to finish Watch Dogs 2. That'll probably take a couple hours to finish off that DLC that I still had outstanding. And then, I don't know, going to the backlog. Maybe Dragon Age. I don't know.
Because Agents of Mayhem is August 15th,
yeah,
I believe.
Still got at least 6 weeks before the next big release for me. So
for you got some time to catch up.
Yeah.
And I've been playing Horizon. I had some time to play it over the weekend. I think I played for about 8 or 9 hours. So I'm 14 hours in to Horizon right now. About 8 or 9 of the main quests. And I love it. It is an incredible game. I know I talked about earlier about actually might be my favorite game of the year so far, even over Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The reason why is Horizon is more my type of game. It's more action oriented, where Zelda has the puzzles. There's a lot of puzzles to solve.
That's a puzzle right there.
Yes, trying to climb up.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Where are we going with this?
She's been lonely. She's Mr. Two Men.
You always make it weird.
And I just love the RPG elements, how you can upgrade, get the experience points.
Yeah.
I just love the challenge. Over the weekend, I was like a level 17 character. I was taking down a bandit fort that's level 25. And just a challenge of keep going. Even with the Corrupted Zone. When I was like level 13, I was going against the Corrupted Zone level 18. But I kept wanting to do it as in, there's a new strategy that I can do. It's not just because that I'm terrible and it's a cheap loss. It's just you can always get better. Like each time, it's like 5 of these huge Dinobots, and I die. Like no, I got it next time. Just that push that I always got. So it's my type of game. So if I had to judge a game, like take it out and be a reviewer, I would probably give Zelda a higher score. But for a game for me, what I like better, I would probably go with Horizon so far.
Did you see what I meant with, like, I kind of myself, just when I was playing it, I got kind of lost between the side like side quest to the main storyline, because this side quest I thought like was part of the main storyline. You probably did it too, where you're trying to find out like where the killers to to the what's it called, the raid pack that you were supposed to follow. I thought that was part of the main storyline. It was actually a side quest.
Are you talking about where you have to take out the 3 tribes?
Yeah, the 3 tribes.
Yeah.
And it was just a side quest. It wasn't like the main storyline. I thought it was part of the main storyline. It is kind of, it's connected, but it's just,
well, how they, because if you look in your log, it's actually part of a main. It's part of the main quest in the log. It's not an official side quest, but the main quest goes in 2 different ways.
Yeah. So I was like,
so that was one way of one story. So there's 2 different stories going on in the main quest.
Yeah,
and that was one of them.
I really didn't even open the log. I just went full world forward, and I was just that was because I was towards like the beginning, sort of, you know, still going into the main map, and then how the map just expanded from there. Yeah, it just, man.
Yeah, because the log has it broken up into these are side quests, these are cauldrons, these are corrupted zones, has it all broken up. And so it was weird that it's part of the main quest. Because I remember you talking about it last week if I got there. So I just beat that. And it's just so easy just to get lost. And I just want to go hunt down packs of
the fucking
Dinobots.
Yeah, Dinobots.
Yeah.
Or like pull them to your side, make them work for you.
Yeah. And go ride one. And
when you start hacking them, it's just.
I just realized Grimlock's in that scene in the sorry, in Transformers. Remember, he shows up and he's eating the car. Then we never see him again in the rest of the movie.
Talking about Transformers.
Sorry,
you just
made me realize how fucking bad that was. He's chewing up a cop car and then he never shows up again after that.
I have a 4-day weekend, so I'm going to be playing Horizon all weekend. Hopefully I get towards the end, because I want to play that, and Splatoon 2 comes out July, and I'm not picking up the fall games like Shadow Word October, so hopefully I get caught up. Picking up Destiny 2, so we'll see how that is. I'll probably play it for 2 weeks like I did the first one, but we'll go. But Horizon I love so far, and so far if I had to judge what my favorite game of the year, I'm only 15 hours in, but so far it might be Horizon. But we'll see until I'm finished with it. I'm going back to Zelda to finish up some of the shrines to see what will be my game of the year. But it's
pretty funny that we're both playing like open world games. I'm playing The Witcher 3 and you're playing Horizon.
I was actually comparing Horizon to The Witcher 3 because those are my type of games. Like
I like them both.
Action adventure, action oriented. It's not much in the puzzle solving. But the puzzle solving I think in Horizon is how am I going to take down this fort? How am I going to take down these bots?
So many ways to do it too.
Yeah,
so many.
It's not just one way. You can do it either way. You can upgrade your character to make it easier. I go in there and hack and slash. But I love The Witcher 3 as well.
Once again, like that came from Killzone. Like that's what they transferred into, and it's just freaking amazing for them to take that step up and go open world.
And the environments, that was a concern of Horizon originally when I first saw it. It all looked like that forest area. Yeah. I'm like, is there anything else? But it was diverse.
You go into it,
It was diverse. Land on that, but I've loved Horizon so far. But that is our Gamescast. Thank you for watching, and everyone have a great week.